أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى أهله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We begin today's program in the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. We seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan. And let the peace and blessings of Allah be upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household, his companions, and all believing men and women from now till the day of judgment. Our esteemed viewers and listeners at home, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You are most welcome to our program for today, which is Sahur Live, reaching you from NTA. Today is the 30th of Ramadan, and we are grateful to Almighty Allah who has helped and guided us and guarded us to see it this far. May Almighty Allah grant us the ability to complete it in good faith and good faith. My name is Abdul Fattah Adeyemi, and I want you to please join me to welcome to your house. We have Sheikh Al-Imam Fuad Adeyemi in the house. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Incidentally, Sheikh Tajuddin will not be joining us today. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be here together. And today is 30th of Ramadan.
Yes, alhamdulillah, today is 30th of Ramadan.
I got it right, right?
Yes, right. Tomorrow will be Eid, inshallah. So there's no need of waiting for any further announcement.
Okay.
It has been announced by God himself. Since
Allah.
we couldn't get, we couldn't sight the moon yesterday. So it means there's no need, whether the moon is sighted or not, tomorrow is Eid.
So it was not an arbitrary thing. So people had to look forward to the moon. Special committee, right?
Yes, there is the moon sighting committee set up by His Eminence, the Sultan and Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, and they are every part of Nigeria.
Allah.
Incidentally, when some people say they sight the moon anywhere, apart from just the book knowledge, there are also machine they use
the technological
to actually
part
confirm whether that one is moon or just stars that is trying to come out thinking that it is moon. Some people will claim that they saw the moon sometimes yesterday, but it was confirmed that it wasn't any hilal, but it was stars that are bright. You know, many people used to make confusion about that.
So there's no confusion. Everything is straightforward and clear.
And incidentally, in almost most part of the world, today is 30th of Ramadan.
Allah Akbar. Incidentally, the whole world we share only one moon, I believe. So we share all of us. We share one moon. So
Definitely,
you cannot manufacture what you didn't see.
no. But the only thing is that moon can come out here before it comes out there.
Okay.
You can have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours,
Delay
5 hours before you
sighting.
see it.
Okay.
Like some places now, as we are talking, they're about 3 p.m.
Allahu Akbar.
So it means when the moon comes out, they might see it by
Before
6, 7
we
hours
do.
before.
But generally, we are still all on 30 of
Well, as much as I know, as of today,
Inshallah.
nobody has sighted the moon.
Inshallah.
No country.
Alhamdulillah. Thank
Although we are not duty bound to
Yeah.
follow any country.
you. Of course.
We are
of
not
course.
duty bound. Even Saudi Arabia, we are not duty bound.
To follow
But
the-
since, because of the sighting of the moon.
Nah,
So
that is
that-
the reason. Allah Akbar. Thank you very much for that explanation. So, like we said yesterday, Ramadan is not over until it is over. So, we are grateful to Allah for another opportunity. It appears like an extension to me. But Alhamdulillah, all of the recitations that we didn't complete before, Walillah alhamdu, prayers will still be answered. Allah loves us a lot in this country. I can see that even in the hereafter.
you know, for us to know, Nigeria is a special country by Allah. So everything that God is doing for us is special in His own nature.
Allah Akbar. So another opportunity to make dua. May Allah answer our prayers. Let's quickly look at what we expect today. We are going to recite the glorious Quran. Aisha Abubakar Siddiq will do that for us. And after that, we have translation and, of course, tafsir. Imam Fuad is also here to lead us on that tafsir mission. After that, we have today's Nasihat. Dr. Bashir Ali is standing by. We'll be talking about the economic aspect of the family, you know, the challenges of the family, looking at it from the economic point of view. We also have today's Human Development Series. Our sister Halima Bakar will still be around to talk about the single and hopeful. Please let us stay tuned and hear her out to emphasize a lot of issues concerning the matters of single ladies and single men, I believe. After that, the exeget will address us, the Emir of Tafsir. He will talk about the segment we call Living with the Glorious Quran. And of course, the guided view, Kiyama and her crew will be here on that segment. She will be discussing matters of history, or story of the prophets and lessons from there. And that segment has been powered by iMedia and put together by iMedia. Children's Corner will also be here, and inshallah we are going to have Alabibia time where we all join hands again and again to continue to build the great nation of our dream. And we also have some words of advice. Sheikh will advise us on you and COVID-19, the trending issues, and some of the things we should remember as Muslims so that we can all get it right and be safe. And of course, inshallah, we'll see what we can do with quiz segment. Also, I believe Imam Fuad still has some gifts to give us, inshallah, at that segment, and so many more things for us to learn. Let's quickly take a short break now, and we move straight to the recitation from the glorious Quran. Please don't go anywhere, because this is Sahur Live on NTA. Assalamu alaikum.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فقطع دابر القوم الذين ظلموا والحمد لله رب العالمين. قل أرأيتم إن أخذ الله سمعكم وأبصاركم وختم على قلوبكم من إله غير الله يأتيكم به انظر كيف نصرف الآيات ثم هم يصدفون. قل أرأيتكم إن أتاكم عذاب الله بغتة أو جهرة هل يهلك إلا القوم الظالمون. وما نرسل المرسلين إلا مبشرين ومنذرين فمن آمن وأصلح فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. والذين كذبوا بآياتنا يمسهم العذاب بما كانوا يفسقون. قل لا أقول لكم عندي خزائن الله ولا أعلم الغيب ولا أقول لكم إني ملك إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي. قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير أفلا تتفكرون. وأنذر به الذين يخافون أن يحشروا إلى ربهم ليس لهم من دونه ولي ولا شفيع لعلهم يتقون. ولا تطرد الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ما عليك من حسابهم من شيء وما من حسابك عليهم من شيء فتطردهم فتكون من الظالمين. وكذلك فتنا بعضهم ببعض ليقولوا أهؤلاء من الله عليهم من بيننا أليس الله بأعلم بالشاكرين. وإذا جاءك الذين يؤمنون بآياتنا فقل سلام عليكم كتب ربكم على نفسه الرحمة أنه من عمل منكم سوءا بجهالة ثم تاب من بعده وأصلح فأنه غفور رحيم. وكذلك نفصل الآيات ولتستبين سبيل المجرمين. قل إني نهيت أن أعبد الذين تدعون من دون الله قل لا أتبع أهواءكم قد ضللت إذا وما أنا من المهتدين. قل إني على بينة من ربي وكذبتم به ما عندي ما تستعجلون به إن الحكم إلا لله يقص الحق وهو خير الفاصلين. قل لو أن عندي ما تستعجلون به لقضي الأمر بيني وبينكم والله أعلم بالظالمين. وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو ويعلم ما في البر والبحر وما تسقط من ورقة إلا يعلمها ولا حبة في ظلمات الأرض ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين. صدق الله العظيم.
I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the outcast, in the name of Allah most gracious, most merciful. And in the end, the last remnant of those folk who had been bent on evil doing was wiped out. For all praise is due to Allah, the sustainer of all the worlds. Say, what do you think if Allah should take away your hearing and your sight and seal your hearts? What deity but Allah is there that could bring it all back to you? Behold, how many facets we give to our messages, and yet they turn away in disdain. Say, can you imagine what your condition will be if Allah's chastisement befalls you, either suddenly or in a gradually perceptible manner? But then, will any but evil-doing folk ever be destroyed? And we send our message bearers only as heralds of glad tidings and as warners. Hence, all who believe and live righteously, no fear need they have, and neither shall they grieve, whereas those who give the lie to our messages, suffering will afflict them in result of all their sinful doings. Say, O Prophet, I do not say unto you, Allah's treasures are with me, nor do I say I know the things that are beyond the reach of human perception, nor do I say unto you, behold, I am an angel. I but follow what is revealed to me. Say, can the blind and the seeing be deemed equal? Will you not then take thought and warn hereby those who fear lest they be gathered unto their sustainer, with none to protect them from him or to intercede with him, so that they might become fully conscious of him. Hence, repulse not any of those who at morn and evening invoke their sustainer, seeking his countenance. Thou art in no wise accountable for them, just as they are in no wise accountable for thee, and thou hast therefore no right to repulse them, for then thou wouldst be among the evildoers. For it is in this way that we try men through one another, to the end that they might ask, has Allah then bestowed his favor upon those others in preference to us? Does not Allah know best as to who is grateful to him? And when those who believe in our messages come unto thee, say, peace be upon you, your sustainer has willed upon himself the law of grace and mercy, so that if any of you does a bad deed out of ignorance, and thereafter repents and lives righteously, he shall be found much forgiving, a dispenser of grace. And thus clearly do we spell out our messages, and we do it so that the path of those who are lost in sin might be distinct from that of the righteous. Say to the deniers of the truth, behold, I have been forbidden to worship those beings whom you invoke instead of Allah. Say, I do not follow your errant views, or else I should have gone astray, and should not be among those who have found the right path. Say, behold, I take my stand on a clear evidence from my sustainer, and so it is to him that you are given the lie. Not in my power is that which in your ignorance you so hastily demand. Judgment rests with none but Allah. He shall declare the truth, since it is he who is the best judge between truth and falsehood. Say, If that which you so hastily demand were in my power, everything would indeed have been decided between me and you. But Allah knows best as to who is doing wrong. For with him are the keys to the things that are beyond the reach of a created being's perception. None knows them but he. And he knows all that is on land and in the sea. And not a leaf falls, but he knows it. And neither is there a grain in the earth's deep darkness, nor anything, living or dead, but is recorded in his clear decree.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
Thank you very much for staying tuned. We're still on to the program Sahur Live on NTA. So far, so good. We recited the glorious Quran. And that was Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6 of the Quran. And we took it from 45 to 59. And we also listened to the translation. Let's get brief commentary on some salient verses that Imam wants to point our attention to. Bismillah.
Well, Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen. I think we thank our sister, our daughter who has read the Quran. May Allah bless her and the entire family.
Ameen.
She started from a verse 45, but when you follow it down on what she read, I think it actually is a direct message to us from Almighty Allah. That what do you think you are? Many of us, we are not happy even that the fasting has been extended, in quotes. We have always forgotten that this is the time Allah has told us is either or from day one. Minus even that, we also do so many things feeling that we are there. Allah said, can you imagine if your eyes are there and I take your sight? You know, there are two things we have taken for granted. It's not everybody that has eye that has sight.
Allahu Akbar.
It's not everybody that has nose that can smell. Allah said, can you imagine if I take your sight?
Allahu Akbar.
Or can you imagine your ear is there and I remove your sense of hearing?
Allahu Akbar.
We take it for granted. When we have all this, we believe that this is it, this is it. But there is an Igbo adage. They say you won't appreciate the work your buttock is doing for you until you have boil there. When you are able to sit down.
Yes, Allahu Akbar.
That is even too small because you are sure that the boil will go. But you are not sure the one that you have gotten, you did not know how to appreciate it. And Allah says that when all these things are removed from you, whom do you think can bring them back? Who is that person beside the owner who has put it there initially? Who has put it there? And if Allah says, can you now imagine the kind of punishment that awaits people who refuse to appreciate and submit to Almighty Allah will and caprices? That we should understand that all what we have are by Allah's favor. And what we think is just ordinary, perhaps even the phone that we are using, you know how much we pay per airtime Have you forgotten God has given you the opportunity of talking to yourself without charging you one kobo? You talk to yourself, you charge. You are forgetting that one until when you need the food. Then you know that you actually pay for hearing and for talking.
Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar. So we take a lot of things for granted, and nothing is automatic except with Allah's permission. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. That's a very big eye opener there. I just learned a lot of things now. So it's such a blessing when you are speaking with people free of charge. Allah will not charge you for that. But when you use some other devices, you got to pay for the data. So Allah, thank you. We can never pay for all of these things. Alhamdulillah. Please tell us when we can stop eating or start eating.
Well, today, alhamdulillah, inshallah, there is no need. We know Ramadan ends in the evening today.
Inshallah, no doubt.
But the time that we are going to break our fast in the evening in Abuja is 6:49. You know, it's about a minute more with what we have. And 4:52 this morning is the time that we are going to stop eating.
Okay.
If you are in Enugu, 4:54 is the time you will stop eating this morning.
Okay.
And 6:44 will be the time that you break your fast.
Nah.
If you are fasting in Ibadan, 5:06 is the time for you to stop eating this morning.
Okay.
And 7:04 is the time for you to break your fast. If you are in Ilorin, Yofa, and all those axes, 4 minutes after 5 is the time for you to break your fast. And 6:57 is the time that 5:04 is the time for you to stop eating.
Okay.
And 6:57 is the time for you to break your fast. If you are fasting Muslim in Kaduna, 4:51 this morning will be the time for you to stop eating. And 6:57 is the time for you to break your fast. If you are in Maduguri, by now you must have stopped eating because 4:29 is the last minute that you are allowed to eat. And 6:25 will be the time for you to break your fast. If you are fasting in Port Harcourt, 5 minutes after 5 is the time for you to stop eating this morning, and 6:49 will be the time to break your fast. So, our fasting Muslims, where we are waiting for the final time of when to break our fast in Sokoto, incidentally, 4:57 is the time they are going to stop eating this morning, and 6:57 is the time that they will break their fast. They are among the last people that will break their fast.
Allah Akbar. So it's not free for all. You still have to observe the time for breaking fast.
It's
not
very,
that today is the last day. Yeah, Ramadan is still on. It's not over till it is over. Thank you very much, Imam, for that.
Alhamdulillah.
So we'll take a short break now and we proceed with the program via the segment called An-Nasiha. Dr. Bashir Ali is standing by to take us through that segment. Please do stay tuned. We are still on to the program Sahur Live on NTA. Assalamu alaikum.
Who am I? I'm a caregiver, a boss lady, a foodie. I am the chief quality inspector and chief organizer. And when I'm cooking with my Maggie Star, I become a kitchen grand master.
Every day, you choose to make the difference. That's why you choose Maggie Star, made from natural soya beans and other carefully selected ingredients to help you cook the difference.
I am the chief enjoyment officer, and I'm the magnet that brings my family together. But best of all, I love what I do.
With Maggie, cook the difference.
Thousands of Muslims fast during the blessed month of Ramadan without eating a single meal. As little as 1,000 naira can feed a fasting person. It's not too early to donate towards our Ramadan feeding scheme. feed the fasting and multiply your rewards. Brought to you by the Hal TV Dawa Initiative.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic day in the month of Ramadan. And we are most grateful to Allah who has spared our lives so far. So far, so good in the month of Ramadan. We have done a lot of acts of ibadah. We have done a lot of acts of worship. Those who woke up at night had woken up at night. Those who did a lot of sadaqah, who gave charity, have done a lot of that. Those who hungered in the day and they went through some thirsty periods during the day of Ramadan, they have done so. Those who were able to keep away from having things to do with their spouses, they have been able to do that in the afternoon of Ramadan by keeping away. With all of this, a person will expect that there should be some, uphill experience. A person will begin to think, but I'm supposed to be very high spiritually. I'm supposed to feel it that Allah is standing here with me. I'm supposed to have some feelings as if angels are all around me. I'm supposed to feel so great when it comes to Iman, when it comes to a lot of good things that they promise that fasting the month of Ramadan is supposed to give. Yes, a person may feel that like that, and you may not feel like that. Whatever thing you feel, it is not as if your deeds have gone in vain. Whatever thing you feel, it doesn't mean that Allah did not recognize and appreciate your efforts. We should understand that growth in the month of Ramadan is usually from within. And this growth can be very slow. Sometimes we may not even notice that we are much different from when we started. Sometimes we may not even feel it the way we thought we were going to feel when we are fasted in the month of Ramadan. This is normal. It is natural. You are not the one in charge of this. It's Allah that is in charge of elevating one when it comes to the spiritual experiences as a result of fasting. But this is very important. The knowledge that you already have concerning your closeness to Almighty Allah, the knowledge you already have with regards to the love that Allah has for you, the knowledge and the awareness that you have already gained in the month of Ramadan about what other people feel when they are hungry. These are the experiences, these are the insights that you are supposed to have. Sometimes your experience in the month of Ramadan depends on the kind of sight or the way you look at things. For example, there's a different way through which the bee looks at the flower and the way the housefly looks at the flower. When the housefly is moving around, the housefly is more sensitive to seeing what we call najasa, impurities. That's what the housefly will likely see. And the bee will most likely notice the flowers. Everybody sees what is akin to their nature. Everybody sees what is in line, commensurate to the knowledge they have of Allah and how things work in the universe. Everybody will see and understand based on the knowledge that they have. And the Quran says, هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ? Will we compare the person that knows with the person that doesn't know? In other words, spirituality doesn't just jump on someone like that. You have to have knowledge. You have to read. You have to learn. You have to experience. You have to probe. You have to ask about the things that Allah wants you to do. You have to do your best, put in your best, and do all the best that you can do with regards to the knowledge of Almighty Allah. There's no substitute for knowledge in Islam. You cannot grow spiritually when you are ignorant in knowledge. You have to make it all go hand in hand, so that at the end of it all, you are going to be much better than somebody who didn't know anything at all. You understand very well that the zebra is an animal, but with your deep knowledge and understanding of how things work, you'll be able to know whether the zebra is a black animal with white stripe or it's a white animal with black stripe. It's only those who have knowledge that understand what Allah is saying. They are the ones who know the difference between the darkness of their souls and the light to which Allah called them. You will begin to have knowledge to seek to understand the darkness in your life, the dark part of your souls, the shadows in which you move, some of the things you don't want anybody to know about you. some of the things that only you can understand about yourself. And that is why fasting is so personal. It is so much between you and Almighty Allah, the only one that can see the darkest access of our souls. Let us seek more knowledge, because knowledge is love, and you can attain to the love of Almighty Allah the more you learn and the more you know about Almighty Allah and about how spirituality works. So just relax and take it easy. Do your best and seek knowledge. Whatever your experiences are, Allah knows it, Allah recognizes it, and Allah appreciates it. Whatever knowledge you have, continue to grow in knowledge, and continue to grow in spirit, and continue to grow in closeness to Almighty Allah, because love is knowledge, and knowledge is all about love. May Almighty Allah make it easy for us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Can't wait to prove a point that I can also cook very, very well.
Wow.
So what are we making today?
Wow. Yummy.
What I want to do is add a bit of ginger to it.
What? No, don't tell me.
Yes.
Don't tell me.
Alright then.
It's between ishi molo, shimi molo.
Wow. Guys, this looks so
Can I
beautiful.
snap this?
Does she seem like she likes food?
I like food. Who doesn't like me?
Thank you for the present. Inshallah, continue to use my wisdom.
This place is where a settlement was made in 1841 by our ancestors, who were believed to have migrated from the former Kanem Borno Empire, Ngazargamu.
Magi, dandano me gansarwa. Magi, dandano me gansarwa. Magi.
Assalamu alaikum. Sabah al-khair. I woke up just in time for Sahur. I always set up an alarm to wake me up at the same time every day during Ramadan.
Thinking, have I attained my Ramadan goals? But alhamdulillah, I'm feeling very good at this time.
The idea of sustaining the Ramadan drive after Ramadan, you have to start praying for that in Ramadan.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah. When you just mentioned, I was like, this is an moment.
What does Islam mean to you? We are larger than ever in number, but in Iman a few. Following desires, introducing things anew. Taking the deen as a shopping mall, only picking things that suits. But is it Islam who needs us, or is it we who do? Don't think I'm a saint, I'm a sinner too. I admonish, but these messages are for me first, and then you too. But of what use is piling up money and being miserly when it is only by the virtue of the weak ones amongst us that we are blessed? Of what use is running your mouth backbiting when it would be caged, while other parts of you speak for or against you? So when you've walked a mile in your life, take a stop, look into the mirror, analyze your journey. And if you've strayed, ask Allah to guide you. For He is Al-Hadi, and He awaits your hey to guide your way. MashaAllah.
I'm having fun. Oh my God, this is the best Ramadan.
Da
one from here, and whatever it is, we're going to prepare it today.
I'm not going to wait for you.
Please go ahead, enjoy, dig in.
Dama ana dan wake da tomato sauce?
Tomato sauce. I hope you've been trying this. Masura ya.
Maggi star, wake star.
Yeah, my signature jollof.
They shine, we shine, but with Maggi, it makes us shine even brighter. Because with Maggi, you can cook the difference.
Assalamu alaikum.
me gbashaka ibo egale nekele nubule tabak me ma oga bi enek ma doki covid-19 tuja na ile adugo ayo to dale odo ikide ku gweta Council of Islam Muslim Community of Nigeria SIMCON akere bo shaka me kakini order ki government do te pa ibe ka magboye ado ale ka ti popo ile kana lebuma unse nki lugbu ino se nu mi kana dugo egbate gbadu mani owu mi kidabo se madu kuro ma doki hand sanitizer le ka ne ka ngona du chi ubilege je ka du peje huwa ade kidabo ujiji owo kina tagbade apa ebodu ka kere ma gboda alege po iki dai handkerchief madu bimo ma gbogbo atalo le kenene ki ne ki ngona du chi kuge ubile se nke ku ko beke stasio o ki balu e ma gbadu amu seun yoyoyo ke akọ aro yiju gbokete ku obile atukoko kilika kona ma oheye ogbo gaga on se kakini enene ki tukoko kiliki gbogbo eje ohun ki ma saka ki ne won pakake awon dedu ge ogai inugudu isogwege shakma nedu ku ujane du ka gbotan to dale o chaka ka mo kota mataka ni ka adoga ojai anoa afen kitu apa ile abola ojimanu atukoko kilika poju gbokede enene ki gbogbo eje ohun na bale kide ku iweta Council of Islam Muslim Community SIMCON akere gumeme gbashaka.
La ilaha illallah.
Nurul Haq Quranic and Arabic School, Gwarimpa, Abuja, a world-class citadel of learning that combines Western and Islamic education delivered in a serene, conducive and modern environment, wishes to announce its admission for the 2020-2021 academic session. At Nurul Haq Quranic and Arabic School, Gwarimpa, our vision is to produce children that write and speak Arabic fluently and also to ensure the complete memorization of the Holy Quran. Our aim is to produce children who become Hafiz al-Quran at 12 years of age. Our institution boasts of modern learning facilities and competent handlers that are trained specifically to handle children. Our school offers state-of-the-art boarding facilities for both boys and girls. Hurry and book your child's admission as limited spaces are available. You can visit our school at plot 534 Sam Okwaraji Street behind police station Gwarimpa FCT Abuja, or you can visit our other campuses at plot number 7 block 54 GRA Dumoye Adegboye Street Ikpe Road, Offa, Kwara State, or behind Kebbi Home and Savings Tudunwada, Kebbi State. Call us on 0803-888-2725. Nurul Haq Quranic and Arabic School. Knowledge is power.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khayri khalqillah Muhammad ibn Abdullah wa ala ahlihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Wa ba'd. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of our program Suhoor Live on NTA. Today our short talk is going to be on the challenges of Muslim family, especially with regards to contemporary situations, especially those that border on economic situations of our life. Life is without challenges. Life is definitely not without challenges. There has to be challenges in life. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. We'll surely try you with reduction with decrease in wealth and also in lives, and with نَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, and also in your means of subsistence. And he said, in this give glad tidings to those who are patient, those whom when an affliction besets falls on them, they say, we belong to Allah and to Him shall we return. Life, therefore, especially family life, comes with its challenges. And these challenges, they should, as a Muslim, we need to know how to face the challenges of life. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala here in this verse has shown to us the importance of patience. Patience is very, very important in times of affliction which are bound to come. You cannot always be living in a state of always increase. Because if you want increase, you must accept and be ready to have decrease. And the only way to face your life when you are in a state of decrease is first and foremost patience. The Prophet ﷺ said, the affair of the believer is indeed marvelous. When good comes to him, he is thankful, and that is best for him. And when an affliction falls on him, he is patient, and that is best for him. And this is only for the believer. So as believers, we should be ready to face the challenges of life. Husbands, when the economic situation is tough, they should be role models in patience. And in that, they should be giving exhortation to their wives for patience, because that is part of their responsibility as leaders of the family. And Allah has said, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Allah says, I swear by the time, mankind is indeed in a loss, except for those who believe and do righteous deeds, and they exhort one another to the truth, and they exhort one another to patience. So as husbands, you must implore and you must exhort your family, especially wives and also children, to patience. Children should be taught to face this as the reality of life. But despite the difficulty, somebody should not be derelict. He should not abandon his responsibility, because the Prophet ﷺ has said, it is enough a sin that you abandon those who are under your care. You should exert your utmost for you to give them what they need of maintenance. And in that, wives also, they should bear with their children. They should bear with their husbands. And they should not task them to do what is beyond their means. It is very, very important to realize that The matter of this world is a trial. And if somebody is unable and you ask him to do what is beyond his means, what do you want him to do? So wives should not be the cause for their husbands to go astray, to start going after what does not rightfully belongs to them, so that they will end up in committing financial and economic crimes, and in the end it will be harmful to them as wives and as mothers, as it was and they would have been the cause. So it is very, very important that wives have a role in this kind of situation. The Prophet ﷺ, when his wives at one time asked him to provide for them more, so that they will also have the ornaments of the world as other women are having those ornaments. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, he revealed verses, and he directed the Prophet ﷺ to give them the choice of either staying with him and observing patience with what he is able to provide for them, or they choose the pleasures and the adornments of the world, and he will set them free. He will give them the right to go and live and get the adornments of the world. And all of them, without exception, they chose Allah and his messenger and life with the Prophet and the life hereafter, and they were patient not to go after the adornments and the pleasures of the vain pleasures of this world. This does not mean that if you are patient you will not get the rightful pleasures of life. You will get, but according to what Allah has provided. Economic downturns are a reality of life. So when there is abundance, a person should spend from what Allah has given him of the abundance. But when there is no abundance, he should only provide within his means. Allah says in the Quran, لِيُنْفِقْ ذُو سَاعَةٍ مِّن سَاعَتِهِ وَمَنْ قُدِرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقُهُ فَلْيُنْفِقْ مِمَّا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا مَا آتَاهَا سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. The one who has abundance of means, he should spend from his abundance. But as for the one whose means of subsistence are constricted, then he should spend from the means that Allah has provided for him. Allah does not place a burden upon ourselves except what it can bear, and Allah will indeed bring ease after hardship. So it doesn't mean that once there is hardship you have to continue bearing the hardship forever. No, you have to continue struggling with the hope that Allah will bring ease after hardship. Most of these kind of events and these kinds of recessions and difficulties, they are time bound. And if somebody is patient and he is persevering and he is hardworking, having good opinion of Allah and struggling, Allah Ta'ala will bring positive and good change for him. So we have to, as the role is not just the role of the head of the family, it is also the role of the mothers. And the mothers should also take turns, play a role in pacifying the children, in showing them the good quality of patience, the good quality of tolerance. Because if a child is brought up always getting what he wants and he doesn't know tolerance, he doesn't know perseverance, how is he going to face life? Are you sure that he's going, when he grows up and he is a man of himself, he will never face difficult situations or situations of lack of means? No. So you have to prepare him for life. Therefore, when the trial comes, let all get the lesson, and everybody will have a role to play. Especially wives, mothers, they have a role to play with their children. So it is very, very important that as a family we live within our means, especially during the times of constriction. As Allah has said, for the one whom Allah has constricted his wealth, he should expend from what Allah has provided for him. So we should live within our means. Do not have so much expectation, because once you open the doors of desire and looking for richness and always wanting to be to get more and more of the world, you'll never get satisfaction, because it is the nature of the human self that nothing will satisfy human wants except if he fills his stomach with sand. And Allah, the Prophet ﷺ has shown to us always to look at those who are below us and not look at those who are above us, because when you do that, it is more right for you. It is you are in a better situation to show thankfulness to Allah, because when you look at those who are behind you, you will see the favors of Allah on you. But when you look at those who are above you, you will not see the favors of Allah on you. And Allah always wants people who are thankful to Him. Allah has said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful, I will indeed give you increase. And we want increase from Allah. So let us follow this exhortation of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala as a family. And inshallah, as Allah has said, سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. Soon Allah will bring ease after difficulty. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to NTA Sahur Live. My name is Halima Abubakar and this is the final episode of Single and Hopeful. Now, last time we spoke about what to do when you have found the person that you think might be a potential spouse, and what are the things to watch out for, what to do during the getting to know you phase. Today we will be talking about what to do when your search isn't yielding the desired results, and you'll be talking about having the right frame of mind and focusing on what really matters no matter what. So let's say you've tried everything and things are not working out. You still haven't found somebody to marry, or perhaps you have financial issues that are preventing you from getting married, or maybe you were abandoned near your wedding day or even on the very wedding day. Perhaps your parents are not agreeing for you to marry the person that you think is the perfect one for you, or maybe you have health issues that are preventing you from getting married. What do you do when you face such kinds of painful circumstances? When I was around 24, I was talking to a young man with the intention of marriage, and he had come over to our house. He had met my parents. I'd spoken to his mom and various family members of his. We'd even started talking about where we were going to live. We were really deep into that phase of getting to know each other, and all of a sudden all I heard was just silence. And I tried calling, I tried emails, I even called his mom to say that please, if she hears from him, because he happened to be out of the country at the time, she should please tell him to call me back, and nothing happened. And this experience really brought me down and I was devastated. But when I told my mom, she reminded me of the verse in Surah Al-Baqarah that says, perhaps you may dislike a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you may love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows and you know not. So she advised me to be patient. My dad simply said, surely Allah tests us with what we love. And then he made dua that I and the young man as well find the best spouses. So these statements that my parents made actually made me stop and reflect and think again and say, who am I exactly? You know, who am I to say that I must have the person I want at the time I want, where I want, how I want it to be? When the Prophet ﷺ, all through his life from his birth until death, was tested time and time again and experienced so many trials, and Allah kept advising him in the Quran to be patient. And the prophets before him were tried and they were tested so many times and they were still patient. And all around me I could see people getting married and then getting divorced, and they get married and they can't have kids, and some get married and have kids and the kids have health issues, and some get married and are totally miserable or are even in abusive relationships. So I decided instead to look at all the blessings around me, my family, my extended family members, my friends, all the things that Allah had blessed me with, my ability to be able to help others and to make a positive impact in other people's lives, especially the youth. And all I could say after thinking about all these things and reflecting on them was to say Alhamdulillah and keep on working. So I advise you, if you're going through something like this, no matter how painful it is, don't give up, and definitely don't lower your standards. Instead, work on improving yourself. You know, those strengths and areas of improvement that we spoke about earlier, go back to them, look at them and see, where can I improve? What can I do to improve my strengths? Are there some areas of weaknesses that I need to eliminate? You know, take a good close look. And you can take an example from one of my very good friends. She was actively searching and she kept getting disappointed over and over and over again. But she didn't give up. She, in fact, told family and friends that they should intensify their efforts to try and find her the right person. And sometimes when somebody will make a unkind remark and say, well, this your Mr. Right doesn't seem to be coming, she would just smile and she'd say, you know what, his car broke down on the way, that's why, but he's coming. And Alhamdulillah, she was patient. She kept working on herself. She pursued her master's. She was involved in charity, and she was working to make herself better, both internally and externally as well. And Alhamdulillah, last month she happened to get married. So I guess the groom actually did fix his car and was able to find his way to her. Another colleague of mine would always get teased during staff meetings. And this was due to the fact because a lot of people at work, the bachelors, kept getting married one after another. And they would tease him and say, oh, you're the last man standing, or you're the last bachelor. And it was all in good fun, but he would also laugh and say, you know what, don't worry. I've booked the hall and I've sold my wedding clothes and they're hanging in my room. It's only the bride I'm waiting for. So he was taking it very lightly. He still maintained his sense of humor and he wasn't just sitting down and stagnating. So I advise you to please work on your health, work on your IQ, increase your EQ, your emotional intelligence, increase your dhikr, your fasting, your charity, start a project, travel and have fun with family and friends. That vacation that you are dreaming of that you want to take with your spouse, you know, take your mom or your dad or even both of them instead and go and have a good time. Live your life and help others live theirs in the best manner possible and in a manner that is pleasing to Allah. Now, while you're doing all that, if you happen to find your spouse, then you can hold each other's hands and continue walking on that path to Jannah, inshallah. There's a quote that my mom shared with me and I love it so much and I would love to share it with you as well. So from my mom to you, you can be married to the worst man ever, like Asya married Fir'aun, but it did not change her loyalty and love for Allah. You can be married to the best man, like a prophet of Allah, and still not enter paradise, like the wife of Prophet Lut alayhi salam. You can also not be married and with no man, like Maryam, and Allah can make your rank higher than any woman on earth. Love and trust is with Allah first. Thank you so much for joining me on this program of Single and Hopeful. I hope it has been of benefit to you, and I hope that it helps you to start a conversation with your family about all these issues that have been discussed. If you'd like more info or you have questions, please contact us at hdevseries@gmail.com. That's hdevseries@gmail.com. If I've given offense to anyone, please forgive me. And I pray that Allah forgives me where I may have erred. May Allah continue to grant us all the goodness of this blessed month. And I pray that Allah grants the single ones, spouses and children that will be the coolness of their eyes. Whether you're single or you're married, may Allah continue to bless you with an increase in iman, barakah and rizq. And may you always remain hopeful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد.
اطلب العلم من المهد إلى الله، اطلب العلم من المهد إلى الله، اطلب العلم، اطلب العلم، اطلب العلم من المهد إلى الله. From the cradle to the grave, seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Living with the glorious Quran. Yesterday we promised to delve deep into the issue of assisting people and doing that for Allah's sake, not for anyone to thank you, not for anyone to praise you, because you are looking for reward from Allah. What Allah has promised in the verse under discussion is for those who would do that and would not follow what they have done with reproach or injury. We have seen the meaning of reproach and the meaning of injury. Every human being is afraid of death. When death comes, or when one is afflicted by an ailment that may result in death, they are sad, feel despondent about what they would live of the life of the world, the wealth that they have amassed, businesses, the family, travel, anything about the world, your loved ones, and so on. They regret in such a situation where they are waiting for death that they have not utilized their time properly in doing good deeds and any other thing that will benefit them at this hour of need. They are also afraid of what will come after death. Nobody is sure. We don't know what is in store for us after death. The stay in the grave, questions of the angels. Will this journey be a state of felicity or a perpetual torment? Every human being will experience these disturbing thoughts when you are in that bed preparing to leave, except they who spend their possessions for the sake of Allah and do not thereafter mar their spending by stressing their own benevolence and hurting the feelings of the needy. Whoever will give and not look back, whoever will give and not wait for thank you, whoever will give and will not wait for the press to say that they have done so, they are part of who at this hour of need, when you are preparing to leave the world finally, they are very, very happy. If you give them the world that they should stay and not go, they would prefer to go. When their time to depart this world comes, they hasten it. They hope to meet it because they have been taking care of people without preaching to them on how they should conduct their lives because of what they have given them. They are not sad about anything of this life. To them, it's all over, and they have better things waiting for them. Were they to be given an opportunity of staying or leaving, now that you are dying, Allah wants you to stay more in the world. Such people would choose to leave. They want to go at that very moment. They are on a sure footing. They are not afraid. When people in similar situations will be terrified, they shall have their reward with their Lord. And no fear need they have, and neither shall they grieve. لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم وَلَهُمْ يَحْسِنُونَ. This is for those who assist people for the sake of Allah. Since offering help to be seen of men and show off will render assistance null and void. And that the reward of assisting the needy is confirmed only if the assister does not follow kindness with reproach or injury against the person that they assist. لا يتصدق أحد بتمرة من كسب حلال إلا أخذها الله بيمينه فيربيها كما يربي أحدكم فلوة أو قلوصة حتى تكون مثل الجبل أو أعظم. No one gives sadaqah of a date out of honest earning, but Allah accepts it with his right hand and then fosters it as one of you fosters his colt or a young she camel till it becomes like a mountain or even greater. You may give sadaqah of something you deem useless, a trifle, half a date. But when you are raised on the day of judgment, you are faced with a mountain and you ask, oh Allah, what is this? The sadaqah you gave on so and so a day to the needy will be the answer. Oh Allah, what I gave was nothing or something very insignificant, a bread, an indomie, akara, anything. Yes, Allah will say, I fostered it until it became what you are now seeing. Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, during his reign as caliph, a Bedouin Arab sought to see him. And that is very important. When Allah puts you in a position, you are there to listen to the people. So he sought to have an audience with the CNC of his own time. And Umar granted him permission, allow him to come in. And the Bedouin came. And he was speaking in verse, not in normal sentences, but in verse. Ya Umar al-Khairi juzita al-Jannah. Oh Umar, the benevolent, thou art rewarded, paradise. Be a protector for us against the vicissitudes of time. That I swear by Allah, you shall certainly do. Umar was not in a very good mood, and he looked at the Bedouin with some asperity in his voice. Oh Bedouin, what will happen if I refuse? And the Bedouin answered in another set of verses with the same metric rhythm. إِذَنْ أَبَا حَفْسٍ لَأَذْهَبَنَّ. Then assuredly, Abu Hafs, I shall depart. Umar said, and if you depart, what will happen? The Bedouin said, تَكُونُ عَنْ حَالِي لَتُسْأَلَنَّ. Concerning my condition, thou shalt be questioned. On a day that little kindnesses are an adornment. وَمَوْقِفُ الْمَسْئُولِ بَيْنَهُنَّ إِمَّا إِلَى نَارٍ وَإِمَّا جَنَّةٍ. And the station of the questioned would either be to fire or to Al-Jannah. Umar wept profusely. ثلاثة لا يدخلون الجنة العاق لوالديه والمدمن على الخمر والمنان بما أعطى. There are three people who will not enter paradise. The one who disobeys his parents, and let children hear this and hear it well. The one who disobeys his parents, whatever the parents are telling you is for your own good. The drunkard, the one who reminds people of what he has given them. Once you will give and speak ill of what you have given to another person, or be angry because they do not say thank you, you are not part of that, and you will not enter Al-Jannah. That is that is the meaning and import of this hadith. Reproach, we should know, in its heinousness and atrocity, is part of Al-Kabair. It is like murder, like killing somebody. Look, I helped him, he was ungrateful to me. Reproach is as great as adultery in sin. To help a friend, but you later remind him of the good that you have done him, that is useless, null and void. The reward of Allah is for those who would give and would not. And the Quran in the next verse, we shall conclude also with that. قَوْلٌ مَعْرُوفٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ يَتْبَعُهَا أَذًى وَاللَّهُ غَنِيٌّ حَلِيمٌ. A kind word and the veiling of another's want is better than a charitable deed followed by hurt. What do you do, for example, if somebody comes to you asking for favors, importuning you, persistently and inconveniencing you? At times such a one will keep calling your number. They will call your number 100 times. Text messaging, importuning you. And many stories are created. My mother is in the hospital, and a lot of stories. What do you do? You may be compelled to maybe block that person. He will not reach you. When you block, they reach you through another number that you have not blocked. You may be compelled to give such a one, just to send them off, and you reproach, and you are finished. Assistance has become a curse on you. You may say, okay, take this, please, I don't want to be disturbed again. You have made life miserable for me. You are not welcome in my residence again. Henceforth, please don't come. Don't call me, don't send me any text message, just have this. You shouldn't have given, because you have no reward for doing that. And you are sinning after satisfying the need of that suppliant, and you reproach them. Kind word, the Quran says, and veiling, covering the need of that person, don't show their want, is better than a charity that is followed by hurt. The Prophet has said, Al-kalimatu at-tayyibatu sadaqah. A kind word is a sadaqah, even without giving money. When you speak kindly to that person, it's also said, لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا ولو أن تلقى أخاك بوجه طلق. Do not consider any act of goodness as being insignificant. Even meeting your brother in the hospital. May Allah crown your efforts with success. And from there, put a mask on your face, not a mask of COVID. But shut your mouth. Don't say anything to anyone. Don't call another person. Hello, look at the latest. This man has just called me, and he has said that this I refuse to give him. I have even recorded our conversation. I will send it to you. You are dead. You have killed yourself. Bad. Allah is urging us to veil the person's want and not to expose his condition to others. You did not give him, yet you are speaking ill of him. Wallahu ghaniyun halim. Allah is self-sufficient, forbearing. Allah teaches you to forbear and be patient with the importunity of a suppliant. Whatever he may do to disturb you, be patient with him. Allah is self-sufficient, forbearing. Being in a position that others will come to you, will disturb you, will call your number, asking you for assistance, is part of Allah's favors unto you. If Allah had willed otherwise, you would have been the one going to them, calling them and asking them to help you. So one should show forbearance and gratitude to Allah. Then you should be patient with that inconvenience that is caused by the suppliants. Give them what they ask you if you want reward from Allah. Or offer kind words and leave it there between you and that person, and don't expose their want to others. When we meet again, inshallah, we shall build on this and explain further, because the lesson we have just started on this very, very important verse that treats our social interaction with others. And we are all guilty of this. We are all in it together. May Allah forgive us, but this is what is happening. You are certain to help others, and you want people to know that you have done so, not knowing that you have diminished or wiped out the reward of that assistance. And as somebody is saying here, that it is from Satan. Satan will make that person to call you 100 times. And Satan will make you to be angry because that person is calling you. Satan will say, give it to him and finish. You will give it to him. Satan will tell you, expose this one for what he is. Tell others, tell your friends. And that is not what the verse is telling us to do. We will miss Allah's reward once we do this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
اطلبوا العلم من المهد إلى اللاح اطلبوا العلم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Kiama Jibril, and I welcome you to the first episode of The Guided View Show. The Guided View Show is a program that brings to you movies, series, clips, and cartoons that we believe will be beneficial to you in your education and religion. Today, we are going to be showing you a clip from the movie of the life of the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, where he had his first dream and he told his family members about it, and his brothers started to get jealous. Enjoy.
Son, what was it that you dreamt?
I dreamt that my brothers and I were playing in the plains. And then a strong wind was blowing.
I don't think it has a specific interpretation. I will have to think on its interpretation, and then I may find something. Will you take the herd to the plains today? Go on. Prophets are the messengers sent by God unto the people to direct them to salvation and perfection. Tell no one your dream's interpretation, especially your brothers.
Why, Father?
Because if they hear it, they may become envious and then become your enemies. And no good may come of that.
Well, Father, you know that we feel as if you're paying less attention to us.
We think that you're paying more attention to Joseph and his brother than to us.
Joseph's dream can have another interpretation also. Didn't Joseph say his stick had grown into a tree and cast its shadow onto your sticks? That can also mean he loves his brothers and that he wants everyone together. Our young Joseph will be kind and affectionate to everybody, and he will love all his brothers. Joseph and Benjamin are your brothers, not your enemies. And I love all of you. And I ask all of you to love each other so that God will love you too. The men of my family, you are my hope and support. Today I feel I can rely on you and rest assured. You are brave and daring. When you are around, no sorrow can break Jacob's heart.
We apologize for upsetting you.
Wolf, Levi, Reuben, Simeon. Wolf!
I heard it is not advisable for one to have a dream and tell others about it. Well, this has certainly supported that fact, because when Joseph had his dream and he told his brothers about it, he started to plant a seed of jealousy and hatred that the father likes him more than all of them and they think he might feel superior, he might be the one that will rule over all of them. Well, we thank God that the father went to reconcile them and remove that seed before it starts to germinate. I hope you enjoyed the clip. If call 080-6131-9522. I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله الرحمن الرحيم لقد كان لسبإ جنتان عن يمين وشمال كلوا من رزق ربكم واشكروا له بلدة طيبة ورب غفور فأعرضوا فأرسلنا عليهم سيل العرم وبدلنا الله الرحمن الرحيم الحكمة أن اشكر لله يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر فإن الله غني حميد وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه وهو عظيم